Designing your sales screen, special objects, properties, and more design tools. Alright, I'm going to go back to the sales designer and just show you a few other things here. When you're resizing objects or buttons, keep your finger on shift as you resize them and they will not lose their aspect ratio. Okay, if you don't press shift, it'll go up, down, everywhere like that. But if you keep your finger on shift, it will resize properly. That also works if you've got multiple objects selected as well. Another thing to be aware of, here you have a zoom, so you can zoom in 1.5 times, 2 times, especially if you're trying to deal with something that's quite small to see. But if you keep your finger on Alt and roll the wheel on the mouse, you can zoom in like that as well. Okay, so if those using Photoshop and stuff like that, you might be quite familiar with, just roll the mouse wheel up and down with the Alt key down and you can zoom in quite quickly to where you want to go to. Next one, if we double click into example here, you can see here that if I was to add a lot of products onto these buttons, the products may have a lot of lowercase text in them. If you want to convert them to what is known as title case, just click Special Tools, Format Text for all buttons on page, and there you go. It will do all the buttons and make them look a bit nicer and easier to read. Another one that's quite useful to know is if we go to example 2 here, when you're adding a load of products onto buttons again, they may all have the manufacturer's name in front of them, which is good for the product's name, but may be bad for the buttons that's on the screen. So what you can do is press Special Tools, Find and Replace Text for all buttons on page. So just click that, type in brand, and then dash and a space, so brand would be where the brand name would be. Press accept. What do you want to replace it with? Well, in my case, nothing, so I'm just going to click accept. And they're all gone, just like that. So it's much easier to use find and replace text for all buttons on page, especially when you've added a load of products onto different buttons. Another good little trick is when you're looking for your products and you quickly need to edit something about them, what you can do is you can right click, edit selected product, and quickly get to the product editor from there, just in case you need to edit something without having to leave the sales designer. Alright. Another thing to do is if I draw any colour button, it doesn't really matter, and put it in there like that. If you go to Set Special Object and you choose, I think it's, where did we put it there? Selected Product Image within Car Properties, like that. If I just open up the sales mode there, this box will show the image of the product that's currently going in the cart. So here's 1, 2, 3, enter, and that's a picture of that product. So as you're scanning each item, you can see a picture of the item as you're going along if you wanted to. Alright, so I'm going to exit that, let's delete it. Next thing to show is, let's click on example 1. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that text there. Get rid of this text here, click on that, and I just press add, and that's fine. I'm going to put object example 2 and add. But what I might want to do is see how many is in stock or the price of the item underneath. So I could layer the button, so I could do a transparent button, layer it over there like that, make it a bit smaller. Okay, and if you go to Set Special Object, Car Properties, Specific Product Quantity, click that, find object example 1 like this. I know we've only got 0 in stock, but that doesn't matter. Press tick, and now that will show the quantity of the product at the top. Let's do another one like this. These could go underneath the button, outside, it doesn't really matter. You choose where you want to put it. Car Properties, Specific Product Quantity, and I'm just going to put object example 2. For the purposes of it, I'm going to press Edit Selected, and I'm going to say there's 4 in stock of those. And for this one, I'm going to say that there is 2 in stock of these. Press tick, done. And now if I open up the sales screen and press Example, I can see how many's in stock straight away. The same applies for what the price is as well. So I could change that. Sorry, Car Properties. Which one is it? I think it's specific. There it is. Specific product, current price, including tax. That's the one you want there. There we go. Tick that. And now if I go sales mode, you can see the price of the item as you're putting it through there as well. All right. Another good little trick to do is, especially when a customer's selected, is you could create a button like this. Okay. Let's put top products. Double click that and draw yourself, let's say 9, well, no, let's do 4 buttons. 9's quite a lot there. And then what I'm going to do is, if you go card properties, customer properties, and choose customer top product. Click that. And then choose 1 in this. Click this one. Do the same thing again, but put 2 in that one. So that'll be the customer's top product they ever buy. That'll be their second most product they commonly buy. Let's keep going. Put 3 in there. Put 4 in there, like that. And now, if I quickly create a customer, so let's come on the other screen there. So new customer, I'll just put any old thing in. NuEPOS, that'll do. There's NuEPOS selected. So I'm going to buy one of them, cash, and then I'm going to select NuEPOS again. There we are. And I'm going to buy 2 of those, cash. When you click top products, these buttons are blank, they don't do anything. But if I select NuEPOS as a customer now, press top products, you can see the buttons of their most common items. Might be quite useful to put smaller buttons on the front screen as well, so you can quickly get to their most common items if you ever wish to. Another good few things to do, especially with customers, is you could make a few transparent buttons like this. You could say name, and this one could say address, and so on. Okay, draw another transparent button there and say set special object, customer properties, customer name. And that is where the name will go. You could have the address here, and I would set that to customer full address. As you can see there's quite a lot of things you can set it to as well. So let's just do that. Customer full address, that'll do. Close, sales mode, and if I need to give this customer an address, so I'll quickly do that now. So I'll just say PA, find 127, tick, tick, perfect. And it shows the name and address of the customer that's currently selected as well. You can even put a picture of the customer, especially if it's a membership scheme or they get credit or anything like that. Okay. The last clever trick that you might want to do, if I just delete all these, is a much more advanced trick, this one. So what you can do is, if you draw, doesn't really matter what color it is, or solid color or anything like that. Okay, you can go set special object, and you can actually put HTML code in there. So if you choose advanced HTML code, if I click on properties, I can now see this is of now object type HTML code. Now, obviously this is much more for advanced users, but here's one I did earlier. If you click on that button there, turn auto format off, and paste the HTML text in there, because the sales screen is a web page, you can render whatever you want. So now if I click sales mode and click play, you can put a YouTube video in there, any kind of website in there, and it will just work normally like that. I'll do another trick actually on that. Here's another one I did earlier. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to change it to that one. Okay, so I've just found this on the internet. Just press sales mode now, and you could have livestock prices or any kind of widgets that you want embedded within. They could be stock prices, they could be the weather, they could be some kind of business page relating to, to your business, your website, whatever you want. So that is just an embedded widget or HTML code, and you can embed whatever you want in there. It doesn't have to be complicated like that. It could be something very, very straightforward. For example, let me just turn auto format off. You could put a P tag in there like that. There we are. And that will render as HTML. So for those of you who are a bit more advanced or know HTML coding, there's unlimited things you could make using that one feature alone.